Well, now, without no doubt and fear of contradiction, let's all agree unanimously. School failed us as far as the money is concerned. There are some of the things that we were never taught, and some of the things we actually went up or we actually learning them on the streets. And by the way, have you ever met somebody who is earning a very good and nice salary? Of course, they were told to work as hard as they can to make sure that they earn good money, but they are messed up their lives. You cannot even plan. Can you imagine somebody earning like 250,000 Kenyan shillings in Kenya? That's like 2,000 USD. That's a lot of money. That's quite a good of a presentable cash, in a month. But you find these people, they are not even financially organized. And guess what they are? They're financially disorganized. And on this video, without further ado, I'm going to take you through and share with you 4 things. We can call them the wishful things that the school taught us, but they didn't. Then good Joseph has to do it. Then you need to watch this video to the end so that you grab these things, because some of the things that we suffer from are just the ghosts of the traumas that we faced when we grew up. The only thing that you need to do is to just hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe if you haven't, because I've seen some of you guys are watching my videos. I suspect that might be you, watching my videos without subscribing. Come on, go ahead and make sure that you leave me a comment on the comment section. All right, let's go with the point, okay? The point number 1, there's something that the school never taught us. We were taught how to calculate, I don't know, linear motion, linear equation, I don't know whose laws and what have you, but there's something that they never taught us. Something called the law of 72 or 72 rule. There's something called the 72 rule. This 72 rule is a rule that is actually out there. It's a working rule. It's a very, very reliable rule. It's simply there to explain to you how long it needs you to double your income. For example, let's say you invest 1 million. How long will it take that 1 million to double? To double simply means to make another million so that you can have 2, or simply means is the rules whereby it explains. I love to call it the 2x rule, okay? The 2x rule, to 2x your money or simply double your money. Let's say you throw your million bob out there. You throw your million bob out there. This a million bob, then how long will it take to double? And this is a question that you should always ask yourself. Okay. By the way, without adding any other money there, you take their million shilling, you throw in that investment, you just sit aside and watch the investment, you do nothing, and you're waiting it to double. For how long will it do that? Because if this thing were taught to us back when we were actually in school, we could have actually done something as far as the investments are concerned. For example, okay, you may agree somebody in high school may not have the money to invest, but if you just give them the skills, you give them the know-how, you give them the creativity, how to invest, how to do the thing, we can argue here and there. Maybe when you're in university, you can get some few coins. Again, you may not get a lot of money, especially if you come from Kenya, because you may not have a lot of opportunities in terms of the job, but at least you can get some few coins here and there. You can start an investment as early as you can. Now, the rule of 72 simply means that look at what the percentage you're being given from that investment. Let's say you want to throw your money in a money market fund, and that money market fund is giving you approximately of say 12%. Okay, that's 12%. That is per annum. That is the return. If that money market fund is giving you 12% per annum, therefore, meaning that 12% is the amount of money in terms of for example, let's say you throw your million bob. Let's say you throw a million bob. You see, 12% of 1 million is 120,000. True or not true? That is 12% of it. So cumulatively, with the issue of the compound, see, there's something called compound interest. For how long will you manage to 2x your money? This is what you do. You take the 72 divided by 12. 72 is the magical number, and then 12, it is the what? 12 is what we call the percentage interest, or the PI. Now, the percentage interest, when you divide these two, obviously, it goes there 6 times. So, therefore, it will need you 6 years, or will require you 6 years to simply do what? Double your money. All right, to double your money. For example, let's say you are somewhere and you're like, I have this 2 million, may not be enough to build me a home and probably buy me a property. Rather, let's say to sort of buy a piece of land and build a home. It is just 2 million. So how about I throw that money into a money market fund, which is giving me approximately of 12%, of which is a real thing in Kenya. We have even some money market funds that are giving you 18%. So you get as little as 12%, you throw that money there for the next 6 years. For God's sake, I just got married, for example. Now, I'm not saying me, I'm saying it's you now reasoning that way. And maybe in some few years' time, you're going to be, well, by the way, I'm seriously single. Now, by the way, now you know, after some times, you're gonna do something like, build your home, maybe buy a property or piece of land and invest and grow yourself to the next level. So you already know, in 6 years' time, I'm looking forward into having my 4 million, and of course, with other savings that I've been doing with that period of 6 years. With 4 million, maybe I can grab a piece of land worth like 1.5. I remain with 2.5. I can build some structure and something. Like, you already know what you're getting yourself. You can almost use this money as a, what we call a, what do we call it? That money that you set aside that you already know a need will arise, and you know that you're going to channel that money towards somewhere. Okay, sinking fund. Okay, that's the time I was looking for, the sinking fund. You can actually take this money and view it from the lenses of that is a sinking fund. Okay, the rule of 72, you can actually apply it anywhere. For example, if you're getting, for example, making this video literally a day after the bonds were closed, and we had a bond that was going for 17.9 years. 17.9 years, we can actually sort of narrow down to, or sort of, what do you call this? To 18%. Forgot that name. To 18%. So you can take 72 divided by 18. If we say 5, we can actually say at least 5 or 5 point something years. You divide by 18, and then you see how long you're gonna be able to double that money that you put there. If, let's say, approximately you're doubling your money in a period, let's even say you stick to 6%, 6 years, and there's a bill, that the bond that was going for 17 years. How many 6 do we have in 17? We have almost 3 6. That is close to 18. So you're gonna get almost 3 times your money, almost 3 times of your money that you invest. So if you throw your 10 million out there, you're gonna be end up with close to 30 million. I mean, if you cumulatively do that specific, but that may not apply, because the rule of 72 helps you to explain to you basically on the basis of the compound interest and what have you. So whichever the method it is, you can actually use the rule of 72 to help you a lot in determining what you are gonna get at what particular time. That's the one thing that the school never taught us, right? I don't know whether they did this out of them knowing, or they just decided not to share with us that information. The next thing that they never told us, there's something called the power of compound. They never told us the power of compound. Yeah, I remember we were taught about the power of compound interest. Okay, I remember we were taught about investing, we were taught about the simple interest, the compound interest. All those things were shared with us, and of course it was about mathematics and passing the paper and whatever the thing it is. But they really didn't even tell us how can we then contextualize this and bring it to our real life. If you throw some, I really wish these things were taught, by the way, when you're sitting in those in high school. At least in high school, you can understand what was going on. For example, in your Form 3 or Form 4, we usually have those things here in Kenya called Form 3 and Form 4, but it's about to end because of the new curriculum that is actually kicking in, okay? Now, can you imagine this information and be like, okay, you know what, can you get 100 shilling, throw it in a money market fund they give you, because you can invest as little as 100 shilling, that is $1. You throw it out there, and of course, I can see a high school kid can randomly get 100 shilling. Not at all the time, can randomly. Again, MMF helps you to invest at any given moment. You can get that 100 today, you cannot get it maybe let's say next week or the other week. You can get it, just throw it randomly at whatever the period it is. Probably you may not have the qualification because you're still underage. You can even use your parents' account and be throwing that money out there. Now the problem is, I don't even know whether the parents themselves, they will know what you are doing, because even them, they are financially literate. Well, at least not all of them. So they end up even eating your money. I remember we used to grow up with some guy, a certain guy used to be very active. That guy could buy some chicken, sometimes some things to sort of grow there and what have you. And the parents will just eat the guy's eggs, and it feels bad, because you simply now, like, you're killing the morale, the motivation of this individual. To African parents, come on, stop doing that. Yeah, if you realize that your kid is trying to do something as far as the investments, encourage them. You should be the one to help them. If they buy 2, add them 1. If they're buying chicken or whatever they think they're buying, so that you motivate them, show them the way how to invest. And when you sell those eggs, don't assume because they are I don't know why African parents usually feel that entitlement. You're my kid, I should eat your. Why should you even feel that entitlement? I don't know whether they are jealousy or what. Most of them, over 85%, only few number of parents will actually support you in that. I don't know. It is what it is. So if they never taught us the power of compound interest, and if you want to believe truly the power of compound interest, I'm going to give you a very simple example. If you take 5,000 5K, throw it in an MMF, for example, giving you a return of approximately 13% per annum in a period of 10 years. Guess how much you'll have? 1 million. That's the power of compound interest. If you were to just draw that money continuously in a period of 10 years, you're going to get yourself like 600 G's or something. So you're getting a whooping on top of that 400K. Now that is the power of compound interest. And that is what I always tell you guys. Please, please, please do something about it. Learn it and do something as early as you can. It does not matter. You can start as low as you can and then you leverage on the time if you do not have a huge amount of money. And if you have a huge amount of money, you can leverage on that huge amount of money. And we go to the point number 3. There's something called the baby steps as far as the investments are concerned. Okay, baby steps on investment. Baby steps are simply means those steps, the strategies that you need to follow. You know what you need to do. First of all, you lay the foundation of the emergency fund. Make sure that you have the soft landing. You know, making sure before you even invest, you know, you're not putting your family into risk. You're not putting your life into risk. You can be able to pay the recurrent expenditures, that the normal expenses. You can be able to, you know, pay your bills, utilities, and what have you. Then you move to the next level. You start saving your first whatever. The next level, you start now getting yourself into the investments. You pick a simple interest. But then I don't know whether you know this. There are different levels of investments. For example, if I may borrow an idea from Kenya, we have a variety of investments, all the way from the circles or the chamas, this merry-go-round kind of a thing that are done in a, you know, anywhere from by anybody, you know, whether they're taxi people, they are whatever. It's quite a popular thing called the chamas or the merry-go-round here in Kenya. All the way from those ones, small ones. Actually, you can even go deeper more than that to the piggy banks, yeah? Those two small cans that you put your money, all the way to complicated investments like the bills, bonds, index funds, rates, and what have you. So all that, those are different levels of investments. So I always tell people, please try to not complicate yourself when you're starting. At least nowadays, the information is all over the internet. If you come to Good Joseph, you'll be able to learn a lot of things. That's why I always encourage you to hit the subscription button so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new good video. So now what happens is that try to start the basic levels, like the MMF is not complicated, like the circles. If you're interested on that, personally, I'm never a fan of circles, you know, so you can pick the circle if you resonate with it. You can pick MMF, you're good at it. You can also go to the next level, pick something like the bills, the bonds, pick the stocks, go to the index funds, go to the rates, go to the another one, go to the international stocks. So there is no way you can just shoot from nowhere to the international stocks. You've never even familiarized yourself with the local market of the stocks. First of all, deal with the local market. Buy several company shares here in Kenya, you know, and then after that, then think about, learn to understand how do they pay their dividends, how is it like, how sweet it is, and what have you. And then from there, keep on upgrading yourself and moving to the next level. So when you assume that ladder of investment, you actually grow with it and you know everything. For example, sometimes I get called by people, and when you're discussing, they want me to explain everything, like 5 things: rates, index fund, money market, treasury bill, blah, 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 blah. So by the time they're ending that session, they are like the way they came. But it's good to be like, guess what, Joseph, for now I'm interested on an MMF. I want to learn much about the MMF. That's what I'm going to take out. But there's no problem if you can let me know what are this and this and that. But the major attention you're paying it to this. If you put that money there, you enjoy the interest. I really wish you guys, you know how sweet the passive income it is. It's so sweet. You did nothing. Money just came in. It's the sweetest money you can ever have, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It's not much yet, whereas when you're starting, but I'm telling you, it's one of the sweetest money that, I don't know whether the sweetest is an English name. It's the most sweet, whatever. The thing is, it's so sweet. All right? Let's go to the last one. School never taught us something called value proportion to money. I don't know whether you ever thought about this. Do you know, by the way, you are paid based on I know you think that you're paid based on the skills that you have. Well, obviously, yeah. But I don't know that you know this. For example, in Kenya, I wouldn't mention the bank, neither I wouldn't mention the individuals, but you can just Google there. The information is on the internet. CEOs of the banks here in Kenya are the most paid people. You find somebody is earning 1 million, 1.1 million in a day. And that 1.1 billion, for the sake of people watching you internationally, it's like 10,000 USD in a day. A day. Somebody is earning that amount of money. Okay, but let's call it around 9,000 USD. Yeah, to be a little bit fair, 9,000 USD in a day. And then people are like, oh, those they steal. Why would you pay that? And then why would be an intern earn, I don't know, 5K or 10K or 12K or something of sort? Why would we pay a CEO? Listen, let me tell you one secret. A time comes when you're so valuable to be ignored. The value that you're bringing to that company, it's so big, even when they pay you that amount of money, it's not even a problem. For example, let's say you are here, you watching this video, right? You watching this video. Let's say you have a solution of a certain bank. Let's call that bank Bank X, or let's say Good Joseph Bank. Let's say you have a solution to my bank. This bank are making approximately of 30 million interest or a profit a month. And then you come to my bank and tell me, and let's say the highest earning individual in that bank of mine, which are making 30 million as of now, let's say the highest individual is earning approximately 500,000 in a month. Then you come to my bank and tell me, you know what? I have identified this and that and that and that. We can be able to resolve this and this and this and that. We can be able to leverage on the loaning. You bring some products that are so enticing to people, they can be able to subscribe to them, and you can be able to make more money on that. And then I promise you, I'm able to add you 10 million on top of the 30 that you're making. So you'll be making 40 million profit a month. And this is the deal. I want 3 million out of that 10 that I'm making you. Guess what happens? Would you be able to take that deal if that was your bank? Definitely, if you're in business, they'd be like, you know what? I didn't have that 7 million. For God's sake, yeah, I'm going to take that deal. I had that extra 7. I give them the 3 million. He has made me 10. He's going to take the 3 million. And then, boom, all of a sudden, there is somebody who is earning 3 million in that bank. And remember, the highest was earning around, say, 500,000 in a month. Now, people will be like, hey, you're stealing. You're not stealing. You offer solutions. People are there to solve. People are there for solutions. They're not there for liability. Nobody wants to employ you just because you have qualifications and you have papers and you cannot deliver anything. You will be paid based on your value. We were never taught this. People are paid based on their value. Let's say they say minimum wage in America is $15 an hour. You know why they pay you? That's just an average individual, whether you are skilled or unskilled. That's just an average. There's somebody who is earning 10 times of that in an hour. Why? Based on the solutions that you're bringing, the complex problems that you are solving. Let's say you have somebody here who want to invest and they have 100 million. They are caught in between the bills, bonds, and in real estate. And then they call you, they ask you, what should I do? And then you solve that 100 million problem. You're going to get a good cash. That is the reality. So stop working with these papers, this entitlement. Oh, I have qualification. I have a degree. Yes, you have a degree, but what makes you stand out? There is a value proportion to that what money you can make. It's as simple as that. And that is Good Joseph speaking. If you'd like my services pertaining to investment, my number is on the description of this specific video. And you can also grab that email of mine and shoot me a text. Or get my booklets about investment. For now, it's a goodbye. See you in the next one.